Hey, Centerpoint, here's a quick snapshot of your return on financial investment over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Here's all of the things you made possible because you invested. First off, we're about to baptize 9 people this Sunday. That'll be 20 just over the last several weeks with so many incredible stories of life change. We've seen a bunch of brand new people step up to be bridge builders at Centerpoint. People get connected in groups and classes. People stepping up who are brand new in terms of financial generosity. So God's doing so much within our gathering. And obviously, you know, a big focus has been next gen. And if you've been around here, we just completed phase 1 of our CC Kids renovation, providing a really incredible environment for them. And that always leads to the impact on kids. Our goal is to anchor the gospel in their hearts. And we saw recently 15 children, elementary and younger, place their faith and trust in Jesus. Some of my favorite stories that we've heard a lot recently are, my kid is crying because they have to leave church. Or I was in Next Steps recently, and we've had 2 full Next Steps classes over the last several weeks, and they talked about our focus on next gen. This one lady talked about how her grandkids love coming. Somebody else talked about the fact that their kid hates daycare, but the highlight of their week is coming to church. That's what we're trying to build, and ultimately what's at stake, again, is connecting them to Jesus. And so thank you for those of you who specifically gave to make that environment possible. We're running almost 100 students, speaking of Next Gen, in our CC students, and God's doing incredible things there and raising up leaders, and all of that's possible because of you. About a week or 2 weeks ago, as I'm taping this video, we had our first Her Night. You know about our Her Conference, but this is our first Her Night. We had 100 women show up for this, and our big focus was community. And so until about 9:30 at night, we had women who were segmented in terms of like age, season of life, just connecting, and community and connection being developed that night. It was an unbelievable success. We're launching a bunch of new classes, one night kind of classes and seminars and groups that we're just providing more and more opportunities to people throughout the year to grow in their faith, but also experience connection and community. And then this last week or 2 weeks ago, we launched our first 4th Sunday for the city, which we're going to do going forward. And we're going to focus on a different partner. You guys came strong on that Sunday. We asked everybody to give $4 over and above regular giving. We raised $2,000 for choices, brought in about 150 units of clothing. And so there's been so many incredible things, watching people connect, more guests than ever before, and just the life change that's taking place within our gathering. We had a family in our Next Steps talk about the fact that they were invited, they came, and this was their words: the church literally has changed our life, changed our family's life. And then I love what the dad said as I was talking to him. They're like, we didn't even know a church like this existed, but it's meant everything for us. And then in that same Next Steps, there's a guy in tears as I talked about the fact that a big priority is us creating a multicultural, multiracial movement. And he talked about how much that meant to him, and also the fact that he was coming out of a legalistic, really toxic environment. And this church in 5 weeks has been life-giving to him. So our goal of creating a different kind of church, an alternative to church as usual, for all people, it's happening. You're making a massive impact. We're reaching outsiders nobody else is reaching. Insiders who grew up in the church are being inspired in their faith. We're increasingly reaching the next generation, and it's growing multicultural, multiracial. And so I just want to thank you for what you're doing. And I want to thank you for taking your stuff and turning it into stories of life change. And so I want to encourage you in 3 ways as I end this video, outside of just financial generosity. First thing, in this next season, here's what you can do as our momentum as a church builds. Invite. Be bold to invite. 2 big opportunities. For the City series is coming up, where if you've been around here before, you know we raise tens of thousands of dollars. We give it all away. That's a great invite to your neighbors. And the second thing, there is a Fall Fest the end of this month, October 30th. It's going to be a big Sunday, huge Halloween dress-up costume day and CC Kids. And then we're going to have a ton planned for adults with games and snacks and all kinds of stuff that we're going to be doing. It's going to be an incredible Sunday. Those are great opportunities to invite. Second thing is, I just want to encourage you to have a plan to support your church financially. Spontaneous generosity is incredible, but it is planned percentage priority giving that moves the mission forward, and it's a part of preventative giving, where we get to impact a 12-year-old or a 25-year-old before they go off the rails, before they experience some of that regret. So let's not just focus on intervention, let's focus on prevention. And as you pick a plan, give a percentage and make it a priority where you give it first, that's what's gonna move this forward in the coming days. And then I wanna encourage you to join a team. As we grow throughout this fall, find somewhere to serve, plug in, and serve. And again, if you do those things, there is no limit to what God can do in this next season. And I just want to thank you one more time. Thank you for helping us create an alternative to church as usual. It's having a massive impact. That's just 5 weeks worth of what God's doing. I can't wait to see what he has this fall. Let's do this. Let's be bold.